Hi, my name is Brett, and this is a peaceful respite show and tell of Bayonetta on the PC. I'm going to just dive right into the prologue because I think that does a pretty good job of showing off what the game is like, how the combat works, and will give you a good sense of what the game is like if you haven't played it already. If you're unfamiliar with Bayonetta, it's a character action game with a pretty deep combat system where you have light attacks, strong attacks, gun attacks. You play as this character Bayonetta, who's this witch. And you're fighting all these angels. The story's kind of wacky but interesting, and I think it's presented really well. It's developed by Platinum Games, who they've done Nier Automata, Metal Gear Rising, Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and a handful of other games, Mad World on the Wii. And this game originally came out on Xbox 360 and the PS3 in North America in January 2010. So 7 years later, it got released on the PC in HD, which is really, really exciting. I have Japanese voices on just because I prefer that. The English voice acting in this game, from what I remember, is really good too. But figured pick one for the peaceful respite approach and just default to Japanese voices for the most part. So as the opening, you have this character. He's kind of like a gangster-ish character, and then we're introducing Bayonetta. And it's kind of this whole combat arena. What's exciting about this PC release is that when I played this game, when it released on the PS3 version was a terrible port of the 360 version, where the frames would just drop, which usually isn't a huge deal, but it is for this game where it's really action heavy, and the load times were just nuts. So it's nice to see this game get a really solid port on PC. It also came out on Wii U when Bayonetta 2 came out, so that was another. I remember reading about that port being a pretty good version too. I never played Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U, but I really enjoyed Bayonetta 1 when that came out. I never beat it though. I don't know what happened. I just kind of fell off it, but I got really far into it, maybe like 6 or 7 hours. At the time, I remember playing that after I played Devil May Cry 3 a bunch, Devil May Cry 4 a little bit, and it's definitely in that same vein of the Devil May Cry series. The story's kind of silly, and I could take it or leave it. I like the character Bayonetta. I think she's super cool, and I really like the combat. And the game has this over-the-top sense of scale, which I think Platinum Games is starting to become, that's kind of one of their things. Their shticks is having these like over-the-top action with things on this really huge scale, which this game does well. So these are the angels showing up. Bayonetta's going to fight them. She has guns on her heels. And she also has, I think she can use guns in her hands too. We'll see during the tutorial. So she can go between these realms. I forget the specific details, but you go between the realms and fight the angels, but not necessarily everyone can see them, I guess. So she's kind of like has a special ability. I really like the music. I would listen to the soundtrack all the time. Especially there's a version of Fly Me to the Moon, the Frank Sinatra song. I think it's really good. Definitely one of the highlights of this game for me is the music. What a birthday. Yeah, so he can't see the angels. nice. I remember this character. He's super, super badass. Awesome. This tattoo kind of looks like... Doesn't Mike Tyson have a tattoo like that? I wonder if he was kind of styled after him. Now in the game, I'm pretty sure for that character, you buy upgrades and weapons and different things like that. Yeah, like, I could take or leave that stuff. I mean, I could leave that stuff behind. It's like kind of just on the verge of being a little over the top for me, but I think that's this whole game's aesthetic, from what I remember, so if you're not into that, then this game probably isn't for you, but I think it's done fairly tastefully. Okay, here's that take me, or fly me to the moon version that I like. Yeah, this cutscene's good. Normally I wouldn't want to show cutscenes for show and tells, because they're not that interesting, but this one is especially really good. So you use lollipops in the game to restore health, which is ridiculous. But yeah, that just totally fits this game. I think that little Easter egg, that grave that says Joe, could be wrong. I think that's a shout out to Beautiful Joe. Because I think Hideki Kamiya, who is the director of this game, or who worked on this game, also worked on Beautiful Joe. The game has some pretty deep Capcom origins. Or the studio does, Platinum Games does, which I think you see that influence in these games. Alright, we're in it. So this tutorial I think is pretty good. I'm using a PS4 controller on the PC, but it shows Xbox prompts, so I'm pressing triangle, but it's the same as Y. You do a strong attack, which leads to these really nice combos. And that right side shows all your different combo potentials, which I think is a really cool system, where you're just in this little arena and you can try them out. You can evade, and then, so if you evade right before the last hit, you actually go into this situation called Witch Time, which I imagine will show us in this tutorial in a second. Yeah, Witch Time. So this goes into slow-mo. Nier Automata has this, and even I think Metal Gear Rising might have this same feature. And then you can mess them up pretty good. Alright, so let's get into it. So So a lot of the game is fighting enemies like this, right? And then you eventually go into some crazy boss fights. You also can press square, which I guess would be X on the Xbox 360 controller, to shoot a gun. So I could be misremembering, but I think... So Halo is what you use to buy things. I think you can use the gun to kind of continue your combos, right? Where you can just keep comboing with the gun, which is a huge part of this game, because you get more points based upon your combos. I'm trying to remember what else is in the game. So you can lock on, which is pretty nice. I don't know what those angels are saying. It's fine. I don't know if the video necessarily shows this super well, but the huge highlight of this game for me is the combat just feels really good. There's something about the way it's polished and the way it feels that are especially special, that not many games can nail. Oh yeah, it's gonna jump into the shooting. Oh yeah, here's how you fire with your guns. You hold B. So I think you can do things like that, and then, yeah. Cool. Oh yeah. I remember this. This is a cool attack. You rotate the stick, and then you can, like, go nuts. Yeah, so... Now I remember why this game is so cool. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. Like, what is this? It's just, like, ridiculous. In the best way. So far, the PC version has been running really solidly. There's decent or comprehensive options for performance. I think I'm running on its highest version in 1080p. Seems to be running pretty well. I think the analog stick controls, the left and right, are inverted, which is strange. I'll have to change that. Yeah, that's some weird default controls that I need to change. Umbran Tears of Blood. Don't remember what that is. Nice. That was a cool combo. So these film strip style cutscenes they have throughout, I like the aesthetic of them, although they feel a little bit like, I don't want to say they cut corners with it, or that it just feels like, I don't know, maybe it moves the cutscene along faster. It feels kind of like a way to cut corners. I feel kind of bad saying that, but that's been my take on it. But I do like it aesthetically, so like it works, which is pretty nice. Oh yeah, his ridiculous car. enemies, I remember there's pretty good variety, and it's like you meet like a bunch of different enemies, which is great. I don't know if... Oh, that's the boss. I don't know if we'll see it in this demo, but there's also these special attacks Bayonetta has, where her hair, which like covers her body, uses these like crazy special attacks, and they are really cool. Nice. Silver medal, not bad, I'll take it. Rodin, that's the person that we just revived. Oh, his poor car. I kind of do feel bad for him. Ed and Edna. Don't know what that references. Don't know what that references to.
あんたが掴んだっていう例の情報、早速聞かせてくれないかしら。それどころじゃねえ、こいつを見てみろ。宙吊りにされるわ、車もお釈迦にされるわ。人を散々ひでえ目に合わせておいて、はい情報よこせだ。お前何考えてやがるんだ。ご機嫌斜めだなエンツ。そんなに騒いでいたらエッグマンが目を覚まして這い出してきちまうぜ。なんだと？レオナッタ、俺は先に帰るぜ。さっさと例の物を仕上げねえとお前さんが困ることになりそうだからな。待てよ、ロダ。エクマはどこへやったんだ？
I don't remember who Eggman is. So I wonder if they can use that reference because it's a Sega game.
あんたのことが随分お気に入りだったみたいだし。花でも添えて埋めてきたらどうだ？おれ。早くしてくれるかしら？待ってあげてもいいけど5分経ったら歩いて帰ることになるのよ。待てよ！俺を置いていくんじゃねえぞ！
Yeah, loading scenes have, you can test your combos, that's always pretty cool. I think that'll do it. Thank you for watching. That is Bayonetta on the PC. It's a pretty, oh, now they're showing the torture attacks, which are the special attacks. I'll just go ahead and show that for a little bit. So you fill your magic gauge, which is that bar under Bayonetta's health. Yeah, this is worth showing because it's pretty cool. But we'll wrap it up after this. Okay, so now I can do a torture attack. You press both of these buttons, and then you mash that button. There we go. So those are... They change based upon the enemy, I think, and maybe the buttons you use, but they're pretty cool. They're a pretty big part of the game. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. That's Bayonetta on the PC. When it released originally, it's one of my favorite games, so I'm happy to see that it's on the PC. If you're into stylish games with kind of like a little more mature, like sexy vibe, then yeah, can't go wrong with Bayonetta. I definitely would say it's one of the classics. Thanks for watching.